16. Yeah, which Arquine's a baby. He doesn't know things like that.
Texas.
He wasn't born in the Jurassic era.
Never played for the Halos. Maybe you're thinking of Brian Hart.
Let me see your halo,
Probably before your time.
halo.
Dear God.
Your halo, halo, halo.
All right, Stokastic fans, here we are. It's your old pal Emac filling in for Aton, who took over the Sunday show and then bailed. So it's Team Eric coming to you on this fine Saturday morning as we get ready for a 9-game main slate for baseball. Talk to me, Goose. What's going on? It's been like a million years since we've chatted.
No, that's not true. We chatted yesterday. You're a liar. You're a damn dirty liar. Don't tell the people
we do
things.
Slack messages a lot,
I know,
but not in person.
No, you are loved. It's great to have you. Get rid of this Shander. I'm always in shambles with Shander, and it's just way better for me to be with my old pal, my namesake, the king himself. You've seen Christ on the cross. You've seen going to the absolute days of yore. You remember Roman times. You remember the rise. You remember the fall. It's good to be a part of history today on this stream with you.
Yes, there is a lot I have lived before.
You're such a dick. You're such an awful person. I gave you a fantastic introduction, and you know what you did? You
shit on it.
Yeah, it went through a 5-hole you. Just whatever.
It's good times. It's good times. I got specific instructions from Aton on which topics I'm supposed to broach with you. So this will be good. This will be good. We're gonna have some fun. I see our friend Sean V is in chat. Hello, Sean V. I don't know what happened to my Sean V t-shirt. I have. What would Sean V do? I have a lovely baseball t-shirt my wife made for me, and I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. It's very sad. But we're going to have some fun today. Please do hit that like button and the subscribe button. Though the name has changed, it is still the amazing content powered by Osmo, even though it is Stokastic now. You've still got Alex Baker behind the scenes. You've got the Colts, aka Steve Buzzard. You've got Sean's on. You've got 1-800-EDDIE and a cast of thousands. We just could no longer be under the Osmo brand name anymore. He's still here. He's not changing his name to Stokastic. We're just here. It's a fun little play on words. If you guys look it up, it means something along the lines of random distribution, basically, is the easiest way to describe Stokastic. So what do we do with DFS? We try to figure out what that random distribution is going to be. We're going to have some fun with this. If you guys have not yet signed up for Stokastic, if you use the promo code MLB LIVE, that is MLB Live, you will get 1 month for half price. If you're a new Osmo user, it's a phenomenal deal there. Just 18, or was it $45, I think, for a full month. It's a sweet deal. Jump on in, get that promo code MLB LIVE, MLB Live. Eric, we've got some amazing pitchers on the slate. Well, 2 of them anyway. We've got some gas cans, and then Chichi Gonzalez. He is in his own category. What are the odds? How many times do I say Chichi Rodriguez today instead of Chichi
it's
Gonzalez?
Impossible not to. As a growing up in golf, being obsessed with golf, there's no way that I'm not going to say Chichi Rodriguez multiple times on accident. But also, Chichi Gonzalez doesn't deserve his own segment because he is so bad that there are not words for it.
It is harsh. It is harsh. But we'll talk about that. We're going to get into the games here. We're going to go game by game, and then we're going to stay on for a few minutes extra to talk about the afternoon slate. We'll talk about Odd Shopper. They are the sponsor of the show today, but we've got about 1 hour before lock. I have just finished making my tiers contest on DK, so I will be only partially distracted.
You're such a sick person. You have such problems. Why?
It's not addiction. It's dedication. It's dedication. Here we go. Game 1. Game 1 is Houston at New York. Guess what? Combo no-hitter yesterday. There's a lot of argument on Twitter. Can you have a combination no-hitter? I mean, I guess there's no other better way to describe it. Did you know that the Yankees have only had a combination no-hitter against them twice in their entire history.
Both were Houston, right?
Both were Houston. Yeah. I think one was like back, I think I was listening to the telecast. I think they said like 1960, whatever. So, which maybe is
the Yankees have only been no hit, I think, like twice in the last 60 years or something too.
Yeah, it was some phenomenal number. And as I'm sitting here thinking, it's like, wait, the Houston Astros, formerly the Colt 45. When did they come around? I forget when they came around in the early 60s, maybe mid 60s. There's a couple good books out there. Billy Martin was a mainstay.
You're just showing off now. That's what this has become. This has become you showing off.
I maybe a little bit. So let's turn it over to Jose Urquidy, Nestor Cortez. Cortez been phenomenal this year, 2.5 expected ERA, allowing less than a base runner per inning. Urquidy, no Framber Valdez. Of course, he's a righty, but he's an adequate pitcher, but he's going against a veritable all-star team here. Are you chugging in any Yankees here? We have a 9 implied run total in this game. Yankees decidedly favored. Close to 2-1 here in some places. What do you want to do with our first game?
I'm obsessed with the Yankees today. It's another phenomenal hitting spot. It's almost 90 degrees in New York. You get these afternoon games with the wind blowing out to left field. Usually pretty good for a Yankees team with tons of power. Aaron Judge in just ridiculous pace. Him and Yordan Alvarez, the battle of the expected sluggings, which are just ridiculous, but no Yordan Alvarez in the lineup even today for Nestor Cortez. So for him, he's a guy with tons of positive leverage. And I know it'd be left on left, but it's such an upgrade to get the best hitter in baseball, or, him 1-2 with Judge in some capacity, to have him out of the lineup. Nestor Cortez looks really, really appealing to me for positive leverage. And the top pitchers tool, 17.6%, top 2 pitcher percentage with 11.9% of leverage. Those are big time numbers. You rarely get a guy in the 10K range with this much leverage to be had. So I think it's just like an auto. Even I've never really liked Nestor Cortez stuff. I don't understand how he's doing this, but it's just something you have to buy into now. A 205 expected batting average, a 27% K percentage, even with a low 90s fastball. We're talking low 90s fastball. The guy just gets whiffs, and I don't understand it, but I'm going to embrace it for DFS purposes. And then the Yankees on the other side, that's definitely my preferred spot. Houston, I'm not going to get to really any of. There's really no point today in trying to make them a thing against Cortez. Are they good enough to maybe to beat the matchup? Sure, but more times than not, it's just going to be all Yankees for me in this spot.
Yeah, you're asking for a lot to go right in order for Houston to get there today. There's so many other good spots here on the slate that this is one of those where I'll be shocked if I get much, if any. I could see a couple one-offs trickling in maybe because I'll be making so many lineups, but really nothing exciting on that one.
Hold up, Sean V, best bullpen in baseball. What happened? Aaron Hicks hit a 3-run home run on a bullpen arm. What? John Carlos, what? That can't be possible. Stuff can happen fantasy-wise, even against a really good bullpen. That is crazy. That is unbelievable.
All right. Was that cathartic? Have you worked it out? Your heartbeat's down to 78 beats per minute again. You're good.
Literally off their closer. Thank you, Gunbacker. Literally off their closer. So dumb. Look, stop. Get help.
Or try that Stokastic promo code MLB Alive.
That's really
MLB Alive. 50% off. Sean B, even you can be. And if you're in the Discord, Josh can't kick you out. He can mute you. He can ignore you, but he can't kick you out. Come on in, Sean B. Come on in. Maybe we'll do a BOGO for Sean B. We'll give him 2 months for half the price of one.
I don't know, but that's the easiest analysis ever. Just play all the guys wearing pinstripes today. Everybody. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, I'm even going to get to a little bit of, he's the least appealing bat to really get to in the lineup. Jose Trevino, how good is this dude been? 182 ISO? What in God's green earth?
Oh my God. Lee Trevino and Chichi Rodriguez.
Oh my God. Please continue on. We have other games to talk about.
Let's get on to our next game here. 8 to go. This will be fun. Plus, we're going to give you a roundup of the afternoon action. Pittsburgh Pirates against Tampa Bay. This one is in Tropicana Field. You got Aronzi Contreras. Not a bad pitcher. He's had some moments here from some strikeouts. Expected stuff, Not great, not horrible, but on the other side, you have Shane McClanahan, leads the league in strikeouts, ERA, and WHIP. That, my friends, is an impressive pitcher. 11,400 on FanDuel, 10 and change on DraftKings. Great matchup. The projected pit, or I guess it's their actual lineup now. What is the Pittsburgh lineup strikes out about 32% against lefties since the beginning of last year, their projected lineup. A lot of these guys have small sample sizes, but damn, what would keep you away from McClanahan today?
Nothing. You play lots of him today. I don't care. I'm sure Sean V will have some take as why we're going to fade Shane McClanahan today, but we're talking a 41% top two pitcher percentage. There's a lot of uncertainty with other arms that we're going to be going to and trying to make a thing here. Dylan Cease is garnering a lot of attention, rightfully so. Nestor Cortez, a really tough matchup against Houston, but Shane McClanahan against Pittsburgh, talking Pittsburgh, is just a can't miss spot here. It's a great ballpark, obviously, there in Tampa Bay. It sets up everything for Shane McClanahan. I'm going to be overweight, even to 61% ownership right now. He just feels like a can't miss spot. I'll take some shots on other guys. And one of those pitchers will be Roansy Contreras, 2.5% ownership going his direction. There's really no risk in trying to get to him whatsoever. Now, there's obviously risk in that lineup because he's had some horrible, I will probably beg to differ, horrible underlying metrics in terms of hard contact, 47.2% hard hit, 515 expected slugging. But the thing you always go to is that 24% K percentage. That is good enough and viable enough, even at 8K against the Tampa Bay team, that there are definitely some strikeouts. Josh Lowe back in the lineup there, or Josh Lau, excuse me. There you go. G-Man Choi, around 28% strikeout rate. Randy Rosarena, always around 25%. A number of those bats, yeah, Harold Ramirez, Yandy Diaz, Wander Franco, having him back in the lineup is not exactly ideal because he never strikes out, but it just sticks out as a spot where it's like, yeah, Tampa Bay, I'm going to get to a little bit of them, even though it's an awful ballpark, but definitely want to get to some Contreras over 2.5%.
When you're looking at McClanahan, are you playing any FanDuel today?
Yeah.
On DraftKings, would you go over the field?
Yeah, I am. I'm currently 78%. Okay, he's just a jam. It's like an absolute jam. The only reason that he's not like a lock button is that this is baseball. There's a lot of range of outcomes, and there's some stacks that I think I want to get to. Now, I talked about the Yankees. It's not like the Yankees are even cheap against Urquidy. You have a number of spots. I want to get to all the big St. Louis bats. There's a lot of guys on this slate that are expensive, and you have to get up to them. I think I'll by default get to some lineups, that 22% or whatever without him in order to get some of those stacks and have it work a little bit more. You still get some major upside in the likes of Cease, but like you look at everything that he's done this season, 35.3% K percentage is absolutely absurd stuff for DFS purposes. Limits hard contact, 206 expected batting average. This is the guy who should win the AAL Cy Young if the season started or the season ended today.
All right, so McClanahan's strikeout numbers and this is where you'd want to use Odd Shopper because they're different throughout the different sites. FanDuel has him at DraftKings has him at 7.5. FanDuel has him at 8.5. We are projecting him for 8.2 today. I would prefer to take the under there on FanDuel because even though it's minus 140, you're going to need him to get 8 strikeouts. He has gotten 9 or more strikeouts, even though he leads the league in just 5 of 14 starts. There are a lot of things that have to go right to get 9 strikeouts. He'll probably get 6, 7, maybe even 8, but to get 9 or even 10, it's, and we know Tampa Bay sort of takes it easy on their pitchers. They've got, postseason aspirations, et cetera. This guy, he's in the Cy Young conversation right now. We'll see if he can maintain it. This is just his sophomore campaign, but I like the under in that one. And I've been looking at this. The other thing that's fun for unders, Eric, I know you play a lot on Prize Picks, sponsor of yesterday's show, not today's show, but that's okay. Pitches. I like picking spots to take the under on pitch counts. Nobody else offers that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That's great stuff. Again, Pat, you can do a lot of things over there that you can't do other spots. You get runs plus RBIs coupled together rather than individually. I think that's a really fun way to kind of construct different cards. I tried to figure something out. I mean, if there's going to be anybody that I would go to, today in that department, it would probably be Jaron Duran, which is just a weird thing to say out loud going up against Savali. But yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm going to add a couple Duran with one of those. I mean, runs plus RBIs, the back half of the Boston lineup, RBIs are always going to be a much worse line than what the runs are. But I'm very curious. Let me pull up his runs line because you just cross-reference with sports books and gets to be pretty simple to figure out whether it's a positive EV spot or not.
All right. Well, you are looking that up. The one hitter I like from Tampa Bay, is he in the lineup? There he is, Yeeman Choi, batting cleanup. I think he is a solid option today. He's okay as a one-off. His salary is reasonable, 3,900 on DK, 32 on Yahoo, probably 16 on Yahoo, 3,200 there on FanDuel. So he's the one guy I do like against Contreras. Otherwise,
Wander Franco, just play.
You want to go with Wander?
Yeah, first game in like a month, back in the lineup. It's good to see him. I just missed him at the shortstop position. You have some really expensive.
He played yesterday, didn't he?
I don't think so. Did he? I don't think.
No, you're right. He hasn't played since the 30th of May.
There you go. So you're a liar, and I'm now the voice of reason. So that's cool.
I get confused trying to set. I had him on a bunch of injured reserves in season-long stuff. I'm moving it around. You lose track of days.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, make excuses. It's fine. 4,800 for him. You have tons of expensive shortstops here today. I mean, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on DK more expensive than Wander Franco. Give me Wander Franco. One-off season.
All right. Did you find your stat that you were looking for there?
No, because I'm lazy. I'll find it here. I'm just doing my best Adam impression this morning. Let me find it here. Boston. I just wanted to see runs scored for Jaron Duran, minus 115. Not all that enthusiastic. I'm just going to stay away from it.
All right. Let's talk about the super chat here. Ban Sean V came in hot with the $4.99 super chat. He says, Emac 2024. Eric is a GOAT. Fade everything and anything. Sean V says, have a great weekend, everyone.
That's very nice. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ban Sean V. But also, as much as I like to, he's a nice accessory to this show, I will say. Because push comes to shove, you know that you're getting it in good if he has a hot take. Like, you know, whatever it is just trash. And so it makes me feel more confident. The other side.
Jordan Lockhart throwing around the Stokastic DFS sports advice memberships. That's for your little 1 month subscription on the YouTube chat. Gives you a nice little badge, helps us spot you quick and ask questions. Definitely worthwhile there. And then we got
a nickel from Loco, five from Loco, a dime from Jordan Lockhart. I mean, you guys are just fantastic people. We appreciate you.
Pretty awesome. Okay, back to the games. Somehow we're getting, and by we, I mean I'm getting distracted here. So let's round this back. A 10, essentially. I give it a 10, like Billy Bob said in Varsity Blues. You familiar with that movie?
I am very much so. Whipped cream. Let's go.
That's a good movie. We've got 10 implied run total here. Boston in Cleveland. It's going to be in the mid 80s today. Chance of showers in the area should not really impact the game. You've got Rich Hill, the aged wonder, on the mound going against the Guardians. Aaron Savali taking the bump for them. How are you feeling about the Bo Sox here? You've got nice matchups here for Devers and Alex Verdugo. I'm liking Trevor's story. 5,200. People are going to be staying away from that. Sure, he'll probably ground into a double play because that's what he does, but we might get a multi-extra base hit game from him too. That's what we're playing for. What do you like here from this particular game? And I'm assuming it's not the pitchers.
Yeah, it's not the pitchers. I mean, you're looking at Savali, 514 expected slugging, Rich Hill, 492 expected slugging. If I had to roster one of them, it's weird to say that I'd rather get to some Savali, but I think I would. But neither of them, they're just guys who are going to fall into a lineup or two out of 150. There's zero chance that in like a 20 max, I'm going to get to either guy or anything of that capacity. So have fun. But 6,400 for Savali, he'll definitely fall into a couple lineups for me. A little bit of positive leverage, even above the 4.7% ownership. Kind of surprised he's even getting that much steam because his peripheral numbers, his hard hit are just bad things to be looking at. So it's definitely going to be bats for me. I'm curious what you think. Which team would you rather stack up in this game?
Ooh, all right, good question. So let's call up the handy dandy lineups
Notebook
page. No looking. Is that what you were going to say? I can't.
No, I was going to do a Blues Clues reference for all the stoners out there, but I didn't.
I'm not familiar with Blues Clues.
Jordan Kleinfield, he felt attacked. He felt personally attacked. I'm sorry. I love you.
All right, so
dude, bro, chill.
Savali, a decent real life pitcher, just doesn't have enough strikeouts to be fantasy friendly. That leads me a little bit towards Boston. But of course, I cannot take the drink in front of me. I should take the drink in front of you. You do have Jose Ramirez. That was a little Princess Bride reference. You've got Jose Ramirez and Franmil Reyes just with the light tower power on the other side. You know what? I'm going to land with that duo because I think you can expand that to potentially Ahmed Rosario or Oscar Miller at the top. I kind of like that as a bit of a contrarian play. It's not going to totally break the bank. FanDuel, they're what are they? Buy one, get one free prices because that's what they are. But $6K for Jose Ramirez, maybe that'll scare some people away on DK.
Probably not because
I'm going to land with the Guardians.
Yeah, I'm finding myself rostering the Guardians a lot more. You're looking at Franmil Reyes 2,800 in batting cleanup here today. Has he been bad this season? Sure, but he just kind of got back, and it looks like he's fixed some stuff here in his month sabbatical. Basically, I feel pretty good about what we've seen out of him the last 4 games. He was so bad to start off the season. He got the hamstring injury. 2,800 is just a ridiculous kind of number to be staring at for him. You get Oscar Gonzalez, who's been awesome at the big league level at 317 average, 827 OPS. I'm going to continue to be rostering him going forward. You go 3, 4, 5 specifically. Jose Ramirez doesn't need much to be said about him, but even like Jimenez batting 6th, Owen Miller, like this is a lineup I feel like I'm just getting to a lot more. And I think Boston, we have them projected pretty low in terms of ownership at the moment. I think people are going to be getting to Boston. It's hard for me to rationalize that they wouldn't want to be rostering Duran. You get Devers, you get Xander Bogaerts, who can individually win their positions any given day. They're an expensive team to be getting to. I just find Cleveland with these prices, I can easily get Jose Ramirez in any iteration of this stack. Rosario is up to 4,700, but it doesn't really matter. That's so much cheaper than some of these Boston guys. I am finding myself playing a lot more Cleveland than I would expect.
All right. Did you know that some people in chat think that Rich Hill is better away from Fenway Park?
Oh, who would that be?
When Rich Hill was better? When he was younger. He's like, what, 42 this year, I think?
Yeah. I'm not going to talk poorly to my elders because I'm doing a show with one.
Let's see what you did there. I'm not sure I like it.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay. If I didn't make fun of you and it were a brick and mortar show, then you would know that problems were going to be had. But this is my way of showing love and adoration.
Officially, Rich Hill is 42 and 107 days old. Drafted in the 36th round of the 1999 MLB draft. Out of high school, went to college, was drafted in the 2001 in the 7th round, stayed at Michigan, was drafted the next year by the Cubs in the 4th round. So he was drafted 3 times. It's always funny when that happens.
Good stuff.
All right. On to our next game. We have some fun here. And let me get to the right tab. Oakland, the Royals, James Kapralian, Brady Singer, 2 bad pitchers. Singer trying to challenge hitters more, mixed results. Oakland, they literally are buy one get one free pricing on DraftKings. Nobody in their starting lineup is over 3,500. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of their hitters are below 3,000. Didn't know that was possible. Can like on Prize Picks where you get three players to one of them get a home run, can we roster 3 Oakland players at one position on DraftKings?
We could, but I don't think I want to. Is it really ridiculous that I have interest in both pitchers in this game? I think it might be. This might be my worst take. This might be my worst take of the day, but I was going through James Caprillian's stuff from last game because he basically spiked 7 strikeouts out of the middle of nowhere. Yeah. He's only had a 16.4% K percentage, and I feel like I stacked up infinity times going up against him. He's had a 5.27 expected ERA. Everything had looked bad, but his fastball isn't the mid-90s fastball decent enough. This slider, if he can set himself up and get ahead in counts, I mean, his fastball was just getting hit up. 552 expected slugging. His curveball changeup are just so garbage. 831, 640 expected slugging on those. But setting up his slider, 35.3% whiff percentage against Kansas City, you can talk me in these game conditions. It's 75 degrees, so a lot cooler than you expect for an afternoon in Kansas City. And the wind's blowing in pretty hard from right field. James Caprillian has been really awful in terms of hard contact. He's been awful across the board this season. But there were enough things I saw in the last outing where I think I'm going to fall into some shares. He's super, super cheap. He gives you access along with, if I'm going to be rostering a ton of McClanahan, I can get down to the bottom. I don't really, we'll get to the Tetriel because I'm very intrigued what you think about this cat, but I'm looking at him as kind of a pivot to get to in a lot of ways. I want to get to a little bit of Caprillian, and I never thought I would be saying that in a million years. And then on the other side of it too, Brady Singer, he's been disappointing. This is not the guy that Kansas City thought that they had, but he's got north of a 23% K percentage against this Oakland lineup. Favorable pitching conditions compared to most times you're going to be in Kansas City this time of year. So yeah, I don't have a ton of interest in getting to offenses here. I am much more inclined to roster pitchers. And I know that is an extreme hot take.
All right. So as much as it pains me to besmirch the good name of a fellow Armenian, I'm just not overly excited by Caprillian at this point. Maybe it's an SP2. It is cooler in Kansas City. It's going to be in the mid 70s today. Yeah. The wind is blowing in from left field. That
you just listed off all the reasons that I'm actually going to do it, and nobody's going to do it. So we roster Singer and Caprillian for this.
That is the reason you get to them. So by going over the field, I don't want more than 10 or 15% of either of them. What is the veracity of your like or dislike? Or
you don't want to know. I have way too.
Oh, good God! You're going 30% of each.
No, I'm short of 30% on both, but I am just barely short of that. I mean, I'm making an aggressive stand with both of these guys today.
And here's how
Brady Singer's already 23% owned. He's popular. Like there's no doubt. Okay. He's a guy that people are going to roster, but I'm saying I even have interest in Caprillian, which is the sick part.
Yeah, these are two bottom 5 offenses. The Kansas City and Oakland are both bottom 5 for runs scored. They're just it's not good. There's no Salvador Perez. That hurts. Yeah, Bobby Witt Jr. seems to be pretty good, but nobody's particularly terrifying for these guys. And dear God, aside from Seth Brown, maybe the Stephen Vogt of 7 years ago would be worthwhile, but he's playing a prominent role now. Chad Pinder, former cleanup hitter earlier this season. The Oakland offense is just bad. Yeah. But do you know why? You're going to talk. Yeah, damn it. You're going to talk me into this because I want to play the Toronto Blue Jays.
Sure do.
And the top half of the Toronto Blue Jays, Bo Bichette, the Mandalorian, is 5,400. Vladdy Jr., 6,000. Teoscar Hernandez, 5,500. If you want to play those guys, you got to save somewhere. You can't put in Dylan Cease and McClanahan or Cortez. You're gonna have to find saving somewhere, and by going to these pitchers. Damn it, it's not gonna feel good, but that's how we're gonna get there.
Sorry.
Talk me into this.
I know. Well, no, here's the thing. If we go down, then we go down together.
Yes.
Sadly.
All
right. You don't know that song. It's fine.
Billy Joel?
No. Definitely not Billy Joel.
And we all go down together?
Oh, yeah, that is a line from something. You're not completely wrong.
I know I'm not. Billy Joel. Good songwriter. Good song.
It was.
Downeaster Alexa. Very good song. Very good song. Baltimore Orioles, Chicago White Sox. Dylan Cease throws a lot of pitches, like volume-wise, a lot. How many, over his last 4 games, how many pitches do you think he's averaging per start?
Guessing like 115 based on the way you said that.
Close, 105.6.
Oh,
over his last 5 starts. Off. That's, well, you're a little bit off. I mean, this isn't Chris Bassett we're talking about. Okay. It's not Chris Bassett, but it's close. But did you know he barely makes it out of the 5th inning? Why? Well, he collects a lot of strikeouts, wastes a lot of pitches, nibbling at the corners, but he's going against the batters of Birdland of a 3.7 implied run total. The Bo Sox, I wish they had some more lefties in their lineup. Their only lefty today is Gavin Sheets. Yikes. But they're going against Jordan Lyles, who led the league in home runs allowed last year. This feels like an offensive game. 80 degrees in Chicago, 10 to 12 mile an hour wind blowing out to center or right center field. Looks like fun here. We're going to take Cease and hope he racks up some strikeouts. Is that the strategy? But as we saw yesterday, Baltimore, they can get it done with the top half of their lineup.
Yeah, 34.3% K percentage, though. It's definitely, I mean, Dylan Cease, a little bit different than Lucas Giolito, a little bit different than every other starter that the White Sox have been rolling out here this season. It's just a spot you want to be getting to Dylan Cease. He's got sub 200 expected batting average. And yeah, there are definitely more favorable hitting conditions here than other spots, but it's not anything crazy. Like we're still talking, with wind blowing out, he's living so much hard contact that I don't think it should be that much of a problem. I do think that I'm somebody who rosters the Baltimore offense quite a bit more than the field does on a day-to-day basis, but I can't really do it today. I'm not going to be going out of my way to target Cease. Jordan Lyles, hey, we can definitely target this guy. Sub 20% K percentage, 508 expected slugging, 41.1% hard hit percentage. Nothing would lead you to believe that this is not a just jam a lot of White Sox into lineups kind of spot. Now, they have the most ownership coming on the entire slate. They have tons of negative leverage, but there's some individual hitters that you can definitely pick and choose to make things look a little bit better. Your secondary stack, you're not going to want to play somebody super popular next to them. If you read Alex Baker's article, he goes into pretty good detail about how you can kind of construct some of those lineups so you can still get to some of these chalkier lineups. But Jake Berger, sub 10%, he's a guy who stands out to me. Josh Harrison has been awful, but he's 7-hole today, 10%. I think that's not the worst thing. And Lennon Sosa, I know he was leading off yesterday. I thought maybe he would be leading off today. He's in the 9-hole. Probably don't need to, but you need 2K. 2K is 2K. So don't completely hate everything about that. Just a lineup that makes it pretty easy to fall into a lot of lineups. Just be very specific about who you're piecing around White Sox.
You mentioned Alex's article. Alex has some nice strategy pieces out. It's got one for best ball that he just released. He's got the baseball one out there that Eric referenced. This is definitely something you want to look at. If you go to stokastic.com, in the upper left of the menu bar, you'll see something that says learn. This is a great way to learn some DFS tricks. Breaks down a bunch of free evergreen content for all of the different sports, how to beat cash games, contest selections, etc., how to use Fantasy Cruncher, the same questions that we get a million times a day in Discord and happily answer. You can also get a great running start here. Jump in. It's a lot of fun. In regards to the batters of Birdland, who would be the ones that you would target against Cease? A three-man?
I really have nothing.
Seems a little egregious. Nothing.
I don't
really pinpoint anybody.
I have nobody over 2% in my 150. I'm going through. I don't. Austin Hayes is batting cleanup. What are we doing here? Cedric Mullins would be the guy, but he's 4,800. I just don't find any reason to go after Cease here. And I get it. Like, you get the wind blowing out, you maybe take one or two for a ride, but what are you trying to accomplish other than hoping, that you're out of the middle of nowhere, you get a double dong from like Ryan Mountcastle or something, but I don't really see a reason to go nuts. Okay. I do have one full stack in 150 of Baltimore. That's all I've got. That's about as good as I can give you guys today. I'm not going to do anything other than that.
All right. Well, we've got two more games where the next two games where all the offense is living. You've got the Colorado Rockies in Minnesota taking on the Twins. It's Joe Ryan Feltner taking the mound. See what I did there? Just like Wheel of Fortune, before and after. Joe Ryan Feltner.
I was pretty good. Over my head.
No, before.
No.
You don't watch Wheel of Fortune? No.
I did watch Wheel of Fortune.
I watch it, the 5:30 edition, reruns, of course, before I have dinner and go to bed. And I enjoy my prune juice during it.
That is the most Emac sentence that I've ever heard. And here's the thing is that I know you're kind of trolling yourself, but I don't think you're trolling yourself as well as you think you are. Because I think I believe it. So does, the 800 people in chat there. We all could see you. Is that when you are registering, you're watching Wheel of Fortune, you're registering for tiers, afternoon slate?
Yeah, something along those lines. All right. So you've got Ryan Feltner, marginal pitcher. You have Joe Ryan, who gets a little bit of love by some of the projection systems. You kind of follow the Twins there. How do you feel about Joe Ryan as an option? Colorado, one of the weaker offenses, especially against righties. Is that a possibility? He's what was he, 9,200 or something like that on DK? He's certainly not discounted by any stretch.
No, you're playing Joe Ryan, 9,100 against Colorado outside of Coors. It's just going to be something long-term that we just continue to do. I was concerned last outing. I was like, oh, well, I don't know after 74 pitches what his pitch count could look like. He got hit up. He didn't look completely sharp. He got up to 101 against Cleveland and racked up 7 strikeouts at 0 ownership. Still gave up 3 earned runs, but this is a really good pitcher. This is our ace going forward for the Minnesota Twins. Sub 400 expected slugging, 24% K percentage, limits walks. There's nothing not to like here. Going up against a Colorado offense that you get this Montero character with a 41% strikeout in it. Ryan McMahon and CJ Crone, welcome back, young man. Both north of 26% strikeout rates. Even Garrett Hampson in this lineup, 25.5%. So at the same time that you get Jonathan Daza, who just never strikes out, Charlie Blackmon, Brendan Rodgers, Connor Joe, better in that category. You do have some serviceable strikeouts here. It's not that hard to get some exposure to him and feel pretty comfortable that it's a really, really good spot. Now, he's 26.5% owned, which I find to be pretty surprising because I feel like McClanahan, like a lot of people, I'm going to be jamming him in a very real way. Dylan Cease stands out. I think there's such a drop off in terms of strikeout rate between McClanahan and Cease to Ryan that I'd be surprised if he was 26.5% owned. I'm just saying people are going to need savings. They're looking to Flaherty. They're going to Singer for cheaper. Joe Ryan feels like he's kind of on his own little island there in the 9K range or at the lower 9K range. So I want to find some paths to him, but am I going to get to 27% of him? Probably not.
So the Twins, Alex Kirilloff, boy, he's 130 at bats, 17 extra base hits in the minors. They had to call him back up.
He's incredible, and I'm going to continue to bat him. He's going to continue to be my highest owned batter for many, many days to come. 3,200 for him. I mean, we're talking about a guy. If you just blindly looked at his AAA numbers, there is no question that this guy is going to be an elite hitter at some point in the bigs. He was batting 379 with a 1.153 OPS in his 24 games post being sent down to the minors to work on his strikeouts. It's just incredible what he was doing at that level. And I followed the AAA account, the AAA St. Paul, because, it's just always a fun watch. And every time Kirilloff would do something, they were like, ho hum, just Kirilloff hitting a 450-foot bomb. They were like, why is this kid here? What is going on? I don't understand. Well, he had some definite, Buxton's had that in the bigs too, where he got locked up at the plate and couldn't swing the bat, struck out constantly. Worked pretty well for him. So I feel like Kirilloff's a guy who is just working through it. And I want to get to all of that they got. If he's going to be truly, sub 20% on any slate period at 3,200, I just have to play tons of him.
What Bailey Ober, Sano, those guys are they kind of done? They're just, they had moments in the sun, flew too close, and like Icarus, their wings melted. We're done.
Wow.
What I've been meaning to ask you that I thought
Lucky 777. We have 777 live people. That's the best.
Nice
screenshot.
Nice.
Slot machine. We're
All
talking
right,
AAA.
We'll let you skip that answer because I'm going to ask a different one. I'm going to pay you for this one. $10. Well, actually, Jorge is going to pay you $10. Wants to know your thoughts on the Chicago White Sox offensive stack because they've been bad for the last 3 games, going against last year's league leader with a gazillion home runs, Jordan Lyles. Full-throated roar here.
You're just going to play them. It's very favorable hitting conditions. You're going to play him. I don't really even know what to answer with that. I mean, we went through what do you need to do there. Have the White Sox been markedly better against lefties? Sure, they have. They only have a 111 ISO against right-handed pitching here on the season. It's ridiculously bad, but they're serviceable enough lefties. A lot of them are super, super cheap. Gavin Sheets is 2,100 on DraftKings. What are we doing here? Jake Berger. Andrew Vaughn batting second has been really, really good. Jose Abreu has been good for decades, it feels like. So don't be concerned. You can put this team together with some other pieces. They're not getting like 30% Coors ownership. I mean, they're going to be the most popular stack on the day. I don't think there's any question about it. You just have to be smart about how you put it together with other pieces of your lineup. You're probably not going to want to play McClanahan with Cease, stack up the White Sox and play, expensive. Yeah. Kirilloff and Buxton and whomever else. It's just going to be something you have to be smart about. So you can play just about any stack on any given day. You just have to be very specific with how you go about doing it. And I think the White Sox, there's no way I'm not going to have shares of them.
All right. Any love at all for anything Colorado?
No.
Then let's move on to our next offensive environment here. Jose Berrios. Don't play him today. 6.2 expected ERA. Just bad. The Brew Crew pretty good on offense. Chichi Gonzalez. Why, yes, this is his second team of the season because he was designated for assignment after Minnesota used him twice earlier this month. This will be his second start for the Brewers because they're missing Brandon Woodruff is on the injured list, a couple other guys. So this is like an emergency start here for Chichi. He has just been bad. So he's 30 years old. He's, he got to pitch in just the horrible Globe Life Park or whatever, the former Texas stadium where it was just an offensive environment. And then he went to Coors Field and turns out he's actually just bad as a pitcher. How many career innings do you think he has?
Chichi?
Yes.
I mean, I have the page up, so that's probably not fair.
Well, that's okay. We'll read it for everybody. I can't find it in my notes. It's like 271 or something like that.
Yeah. I just clicked off of it because I thought you were going to say it.
But it's crazy that
he's the worst pitcher in baseball. Yeah. I will say my biggest concern, and Milwaukee's got a very serviceable bullpen behind him. They were giving him the quick hook. He ended up kind of surviving against St. Louis somehow. I had all the St. Louis and all the land. They had guys warming up in the first inning against Chichi. He gave up, I believe, 2 earned right out of the gate, and then found a way to survive the rest of the way through. Juan Yepez struck out twice to him. He should be ashamed to him and his family for doing such
just
things.
Retired.
You should retire. If you get K'd twice, if you're the only 2 strikeouts for a pitcher, you should have to have like a town hall meeting on whether or not you're allowed to live in the town anymore. You should have to move out of St. Louis.
5.3 strikeouts per 9 for his career.
And he struck out the same guy twice in 2 at-bats. Unbelievable stuff. But anyway,
he mixed up the edibles and the Flintstone vitamins. Clearly, that's what happened.
That was somebody else, not you or me in the Zoom call. But here we are. I feel pretty good. I feel good about such things. I'm here for a free ride on those terms too. But I'm definitely going to be getting myself to as much Toronto Blue Jays as I can possibly handle again. I am concerned that, if he gets in trouble again, they just go right to the bullpen right away. But I can't let that that can't get me off of Toronto today. I think the White Sox are just going to garner so much attention. Minnesota's garnering a ton of attention. I'm going to have to short a little bit of both of them there. There's no way I'm shorting Toronto against Chichi.
There's just no reason. And again, we mentioned how expensive everybody is on DK. Good. That will keep them suppressed. You want to get access to this game, play the back half of their lineup. It's just the way to go. And then Springer's back leading off. He's missed the last few games, so good to see him back in the lineup. But totally agree. $9.99 for my filler arc. Speaking of the sun, before he joins the Emac 2024 party, what is my platform on climate change? We do not have enough time for me to go into this, It's horrible. That ship has sailed. Don't have kids. You're bringing them into a scary, scary world. And the worst thing of all, like garbage dumps, how they, similar to do core drilling samples, that's how they determine the decomposition rate. I read this in 20 plus years ago in a National Geographic. It scared the hell out of me. You know how they date everything? By looking at the newspapers, because they don't decompose because they're so buried and there's no air and microbes and whatever. So like their 80-year-old newspapers just look like newspapers. They show pictures of hot dogs that look like hot dogs. It's horrible. We've ruined the planet. Mother Earth's going to win. We're going to lose. Hopefully.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Later.
Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing well. Hit the like button, please.
Yes. Sorry. Oh, Tom's calling me. I wonder why Tom's calling me today.
That was a CEO joke. Don't.
Tom's probably watching and saying, yeah, maybe I should give him a call. All right, we'll get back to the games. I know we have to, but just be kind to the world. Just be kind to each other. It's better that way. Cubbies, Cardinals, 80 degrees. We did not get the home runs yesterday that I wanted. We got another chance going against Alec Meek Mills today. You've got the usual suspects in the Cardinals lineup, at least their usual 7. Jack Flaherty on the other side. Flaherty, was he on the COVID list? He hasn't pitched in a little while. Let me look that up. Do you know what his pitch count is? Because he's looking pretty popular on DraftKings for his price. But if we could get 60 pitches out of him, does that seem reasonable?
Seems reasonable. I mean, it's a Cubs offense that shouldn't inspire too much enthusiasm on a day-to-day basis when the wind isn't blowing out, when it's not 90 degrees in Wrigley or something. Well, you're in St. Louis today, and it's cooler than you would think, sub 80 degrees again today. A lot cooler in some of these spots. Kansas City, you would expect more heat. St. Louis, you'd expect more heat. None of that happening today. It's blowing across the field to right a little bit. Doesn't look like it's going to be downwind so much, but it could shift a little bit. And then you're looking at a pretty favorable spot for some of the lefties, of which there are some to get to. But Ortega leading off here, 2,400. I get if he falls into some lineups for DraftKings purposes. Morel's just been flat out good, 3,600 for him. Sweet, but just not a very inspiring offense here. Trying to see if there's anything I'm seeing for pitch count. Jack Flaherty.
So he went 71 in his last start. I think he'll probably get around 80. He had missed the first portion of the season with shoulder inflammation. I couldn't remember why he hadn't been playing. But so I think he's a solidly priced on a pitch per dollar perspective.
I can't play everybody. He's 6,600. So, I mean, a lot of any risk you think you're incurring because of a pitch count or something, that's pretty mitigated when you're talking about a cheap guy. I don't think you need to play him on FanDuel 8,200. I'll let Terry be the judge of that. I saw him in chat there earlier. Shout out Terry. But FanDuel purposes, I don't think there's really a point in having to play Flaherty. I would rather play Roansy Contreras, which is a weird thing to say out loud against Tampa Bay. Just a more favorable ballpark. There are some strikeouts to be had there. Flaherty, 80 pitches is just fine for DK purposes, or 85 pitches, but for FanDuel purposes, probably going to hit eject. Plus, you never really know unless they just flat out say he's going to be limited to such and such pitch count, like with Kershaw. I mean, Joe Ryan, I had my assumptions about what that pitch count was going to look like, and he went from 73 to 100 plus in back-to-back outings out of the middle of nowhere. So it can happen in an instant. Flaherty's just fine to fall into lineups. He's definitely the preferred option by the field at the very cheap end. I'm going to try to make James Caprillion a thing today. Yeah, 1.5% ownership on DK. I'm a psychopath, but I think that there's actually a path there for $1,000 less. Allows for me to get to more Toronto, do the things that I want to do with some expensive bats.
Yeah, it's all about how can we get to Toronto today? Toronto, Minnesota, where we're going to be making our stands. I'm looking at the SP2s that I'm now setting my.
Again, like James Caprillion is not good. There's no question, but like, is there that gigantic of a difference between going to him and then a limited pitch count for Jack Flaherty for $1,000 more? I don't know. They both can survive, and that $1,000 can go a long way to get more Toronto.
All right. My filler arc says he's got my vote. 1999. We're going to party like it's 1999. Did you know yesterday was what they said it on the Minnesota telecast? I think the 36th anniversary of the release of Purple Rain.
It's incredible. My mom was playing blackjack at a casino in Minnesota that is like right next to Prince's old estate when he died. and they were able to go drive by the estate right after it happened, and people are just dropping out flowers, crying, all this stuff. So yeah, Purple Rain, Blackjack, like it all comes full circle. It's incredible stuff. I love Prince.
All right. Yes, high humidity in St. Louis. Don't think we really need to worry about any postponement. And as long as the rain isn't over the stadiums, probably won't be any issues at all. T. McBee says Flaherty's supposed to go 90 pitches today. So.
85 to 90 per news guy. Nice. 90 pitches. Again, makes a lot of sense that he's garnering that attention. Because, I mean, if you had a fully stretched out Flaherty, if there was no concern whatsoever, you'd look at this price tag against the Cubs and you would have infinity shares of him. But I think that there's enough K percentage in Cease and McClanahan. It just makes sense that you're going to get to lots of those kind of guys. And then, you're trying to make other things happen with Joe Ryan. You're trying to make other things happen. For me, I'm just going all the way to the bottom for a complete different lineup construction and like 3 max stuff and 20 max stuff. So that is my game plan. It's probably not going to go well.
All right. I'm going to start crunching lineups. I am plugged into the router, Jordan Klein. I am plugged into the router. So here we go. Good luck. Good luck to my computer, which wouldn't turn on this morning. A little scary. I probably should back this up. 5 years old. Should I get a new laptop? Probably should get a new laptop. Last game of the slate. You ready for it?
Yeah. I love Jordan Klein so much. His facial reactions. You guys don't understand the privilege and the honor to work with this guy, because he definitely adds to the shows every time. But just him reacting to everything Emac says is as wonderful as you could possibly imagine.
It's well worth it. Well worth it. Globe Life Park likely to have the roof closed today, or whatever. Is it Globe Life? I forget what they call it now. But Jackson, fun with this last name. Listen to 3 different broadcasts to figure out how to say Tetrio.
Okay,
Jackson Tetrio. It's funny because I work with someone whose last name is Tetrio, and they pronounce it Tetralt. Just saying, funny, but there it is. Glenn Otto. On the other side, Otto, I believe, was the person that was on that got a rise from both of you guys. Otto, it's a palindrome, same forwards and backwards. It's pretty good. Madam, I'm Adam. 10 animals I slam in a net. No, don't remember these. Okay. Glenn Otto. I don't want to play him, but he's 7,000. Jackson Tetrio. I don't want to play him either, but he's 5,100. We've spoken about the merits of trying to save somewhere on this slate. Park roof is closed. We still have a 9.5 implied run total here. These pitchers, not great. These offenses, not scary either, though. How are you? Are you just letting this sprinkle in across your lineups? Is that your take on this one?
I don't have a take. So here's what I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with Tetriel, because if he were to be hang on, where did it go? It just disappeared on me. He's so cheap. He's probably the guy that he's just a dude. And I wanted to get your take on what you were planning to do with him, because anytime you see somebody at the very, very bottom, 5,100, I mean, we just absolutely hate him. I think he's probably unplayable, but it looks like at other places, he's actually garnering some steam and attention if you go around the industry and look at other spots. So I didn't really see it. I am preferring Caprillion in the bottom. Prefer is the wrong word. I am forcing Caprillion into my lineups. Jackson Tetreal, he looks like he's decent enough, but I'm not going to do it today. Not going to do it.
All right. So let's see. Jackson is 7th round pick in the 2017 draft. He is not, if I'm reading this correctly, not even a ranked prospect for the Nationals.
No.
There is an article back from 2018 talking about how he was in the top 20 of their prospects. That was a long time ago. Boy, here's a
4.19 ERA, 1.29 WHIP in Rochester. Looks like the strikeouts were okay, but not. I don't see it. There's really no point. I'm not going to do it.
Let's put it this way: Steamer, Zips, a couple other projection systems. They have him as Chichi Rodriguez, basically.
Oh, good. So that's ideal.
Sub 6 strikeouts per 9, 1.6 home runs per 9.
Yeah, let's not do that.
No bueno. No bueno. All right. Team Eric. Eric Traub says this is worth the price of admission, even though it's free. Let's see. Emac is the uncle that drinks too much and does crossword puzzles all day. That
Sharp
could be
take.
fun. That could be fun. I feel like I should be eating a microwave dinner in one of those small fold-out tables, watching a TV with an antenna while listening to Emac. That I've done.
Honestly,
that before.
Have you ever gotten a better compliment than that in your life?
I'm my heart's swelling with pride. I'm blushing a little bit. That was pretty nice. 8 Game says he'll drive a truck if someone wants to fill it with Emac ballots. Someone else needs to scan them in though. Good. These are all good takes. I like these. It's a movement here. We're going to subvert democracy. We won't be the first political party to do that, but we'll do it right because it'll be us.
Emac 2024. Dude, you have gone on some incredible tangents today. Like incredible tangents today.
Well,
I feel honored to be a part of this show.
I'm
Shout out your
happy
dog
for that. I know. I'm gonna have to let you talk for a second here. Someone's here.
Sounds happy. Yeah, so I'll just talk about this last game a little bit for you guys. I mean, we're looking at Tetriel. I get it if you fell into a share or two of your lineups. He's not good. He's just cheap. That's the nicest thing that we can really say about him. As far as Texas bats go, that's more the intriguing spot to be getting to some of them. I've got to be looking. Josh H. Smith leading off here today. Shout out. That sounds like a Mormon name. That's cool. But Corey Seager, that's always going to be the priority from the Texas side for me. Adolis Garcia, another walk-off yesterday. He's having a really nice season, 542 expected slugging, 357 xWOBA. He's going to be another guy. I just really like the Texas side here in this one. And then don't sleep on the Nationals either. I think Glenn Otto is horrendous, 528 expected slugging, 13.2% walk rate. I don't love Cesar Hernandez as a real life baseball player, but I'm going to have quite a few shares of this stack going through. Lane Thomas was showing up in a lot of optimizer crunches. You have to figure out a way to kind of limit how much you'll get of him because I'm not all that enthusiastic about him. I know the 42.2% hard hit looks decent, but 1 through 9, I'm still going to get shares of pretty much everybody in this national side. I like both sides of it here. Good enough hitting environment. Yeah. Give me stacks of both.
All right.
How'd I do? There we go.
That was good. Thank you. Lock is in about 7 minutes here. We're going to stay on for another 10 or 15 minutes. We're going to talk about the afternoon slate, the 4 o'clock games, talk a little bit of Odd Shopper. We'll talk about a promotion, the Stokastic promotion, the referral program where you can make money. That's not a bad way to do. You could make money and then turn it into a Stokastic subscription by getting your friends to sign up for Stokastic subscriptions. You get your own little referral link and you get, 20% of their first 2 payments. It's a pretty good deal.
It's nice.
It's a pretty good deal. The FBI just showed up at my door. Close. Emac has a box of tissues in back of the window of his Buick. No, but I do have one of those very faded Garfield suction cup things sticking on the back of my window. No baby on board. What else? Am I at the office?
What are you doing with the rest of your Sunday after this show?
I'm going to do day job stuff because I have to prepare training for 3,000 people. Who knew?
You are the most interesting man at awesome.com. Your entire existence is just awesome.
We like to have a little fun around here. You know what's not fun? Fantasy Cruncher when it's going super duper slow. I guess
I just got everything I needed.
I'm just running 5-0s today, I guess, because nothing else is gonna work.
I didn't do my one-offs until I woke up a little bit later than I normally would have. Had some fun last night. It was enjoyable, but normally I like to go through and like pick my specific one-offs. I'm basically detesting everything my lineups look like right now. I am just not having fun because you can do the individual one batter stack and make that work. It is not working for me, Emac.
Right.
Tried to do that during the show.
Ritz says Emac is the new Dos Equis guy. Actually, that is the only beer I have in the fridge.
Did you say Dos Equis as opposed to Dos Equis?
Dos Equis. That's not how we say it?
No, Dos Equis.
Dos Equis?
Yeah.
Dos Equis. Well, all right.
There you go.
I like the amber flavor. That's where I was going.
Delicious. I agree. We should power rank beers at the end of the show.
Oh, okay, we can do that. All right, let's see if we have any questions coming in here. Paredes Dong, probably. That guy just hits home runs.
Probably.
Every time
he has 10 home runs, and I didn't know who he was like 3 days ago.
Yeah, Greg and I had this conversation yesterday. 3 home runs against the Yankees. That just bringing that up for Terry and for Gundacker.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Amber is the color of your energy.
Whoa.
That sounds good. Drink real beer. That seems like
you shut up.
Beer. I mean, if you're interesting, you want to drink that beer, right? Isn't that what we do?
You do. Just interesting.
We'll see you later, Gundacker.
Well, big gulps. Well, see you later.
Let's see here. All right, how many lineups are you running today?
1,650. But I'm trimming it down right now to 150.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, I am going to run.
I got them up. All right. I feel better now. There we go. Got it done.
All right. You want to chat?
Sorting on a live show is really fun. I normally don't do it, but
I don't know how you guys manage to do that with all this money.
Hey, ask Terry. Terry has figured it out for FanDuel. Like, there is no doubt that Terry has figured it out for FanDuel. For DK, I think it's pretty simple, where you're just kind of going through and, oh, this is garnering too much attention. And like, you're trying to boost certain stacks with other stacks. And then you're trying to make sure that certain combinations are covered. And it's really, really fun. But you generally just run a bunch of lineups and then you find the best ones. That's the process.
That's your strategy.
That's
play
the
best lineups.
Thanks, Emac.
That's good.
Thank you. Yeah, play good lineups. That's my process.
I mean, that is the secret of DFS.
Secret of life too.
I prefer, following the Alex Baker mantra of just win, baby. Him and Al Davis. Pride, Poison, Noise. All right, I'm gonna run 300 lineups today. That looks like a solid number. I am not getting who I wanted from Toronto. That feels like a bit of a problem.
Brian Goga, favorite stacks today. Obviously, Minnesota is very chalky. The White Sox are very, very chalky. I understand getting to both of them. I have a little bit more Minnesota than I do White Sox, but the priority for me is getting to the Yankees and getting to Toronto. Those two specifically just stand out. Urquidy and specifically Chichi Gonzalez is so bad that there are not words for it. So those are kind of my priorities. In terms of value, I'm going to say going to be more on the I'm going back and forth because I do like Washington quite a bit in terms of value. Texas as well. I just think that now with a 2K leadoff guy to just lower the complete cost of everything for DraftKings purposes makes a lot of sense getting to some Texas as well. But priority stack: Toronto 1, Minnesota 2, and Yankees 3. Those would be my 3 favorites.
I just screwed up I'm playing 40% Toronto Blue Jays. Oops.
That's a ton. That's probably too much in baseball, but you know what?
With 1 minute left,
a man must have a code.
I got to go with what I got to go with here. Maybe I should have played
home run call, lineups. Nolan Gorman every single time against any righty ever. There you go.
Boy, this is going to be risky. I may not get these in.
No risk it, no biscuit. Emac.
No risk it, no biscuit. What do you think? We're going to get there? Yes, we got there. Just barely.
That was a fun sweat.
That was fun for everybody but me. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about, now that we're at lock, let's talk a little bit about the afternoon slate, a little afternoon delight here. There's a very robust 2:00 slate, so 6 games on that. That'll be fun. Then there's 4 games on our afternoon slate. Yep. We've got the Reds at San Francisco. You got Tyler Mahle going against Anthony DeSclafani. Not great, DeSclafani. Jose Suarez taking on Marco Gonzalez in the battle of the lefties out there in Anaheim. Kyle Gibson and Yu Darvish, probably your 2 best pitchers, air quote, best pitchers. Gibson gets to take on that depleted San Diego lineup with no Manny Machado. Gibson, strikes out 7, 8 per 9. It's okay. Salary's okay, but I like the matchup there against the Pod Squad. Bo Brisky, is he good? Is he risky? He's Bo Brisky. Gets to go against Arizona. I'm okay with that. Roof will be closed. And then Dallas Keuchel. What? He's still here? Who let him in?
Yeah,
Who invited him to the party?
Arizona, just awful. Saw that this morning and it made me laugh.
That's frightening. So I think Javi Baez, definitely a good play. Eric Haas, 2,900 as your catcher on the late slate. That one's pretty good. Robbie Grossman leading off, 2,100. That's solid. Yu Darvish, how do you feel about taking some of these Phillies against Yu Darvish? Did you see Zimmerman broke his thumb? Got hit by a pitch. Got hit by a pitch last night from Blake Snell.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
So Zimmerman.
No, sorry, not Zimmerman. I was watching Hoskins? A highlight to find out Jackson Tetriol, how to pronounce his name, and they were talking about Ryan Zimmerman weekend, the Nationals. Bryce Harper used to play for the Nationals.
Somebody get Emac a glass of warm milk.
Prune juice, please.
Prune juice. Okay. Good Lord.
That was
Bryce Harper.
There you go.
Thank you. God, you are just something else. I love you.
I haven't gotten my mid-morning nap yet. I'm not even supposed to be here today. This is a
geriatric moment, to say the least. Yeah, obviously you removed Bryce Harper, which is kind of nice. I shorted his 8 fantasy score on Prize Picks yesterday.
Did you really?
I did. So I didn't know that was how I ended up winning and going 4 for 4 on that. But there you are. I do like Yu Darvish a lot. That's a massive bat to be missing in the lineup going forward. And Yu Darvish, those Ks have just ramped back up in a decent enough way. 6.75 the last 3. Those have been decent enough outings. You remove the best hitter long-term from this Phillies lineup, and he just stands out. So Yu Darvish, full, all systems go there. I do prefer him over Tyler Mahle, just straight up. 9,200 for him, 9,400 for Mahle. This is obviously a San Francisco lineup that can stack up a bunch of lefties going up against Mahle here, but he's been really good on the season, around a 26% K percentage, 379 expected slugging. I get it. If you landed on shares of him, you're going to have stacks like anything that isn't going to involve Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani is going to be something that's going to work out for you more times than not. Be able to get up to the top pitchers here. Arizona's super cheap. Seattle has super cheap pieces. I don't really like San Diego on this slate, but Arizona specifically going up against Bo Brisky, they're going to be popular. I expect them to be probably the second most popular stack next to the Angels. Yes, that's what they are in our tools here as well. Just clicked over in the afternoon tab. Makes a lot of sense to take these top 2 pitchers playing with Arizona in cash. Like that's going to be the route I would take for sure.
All right. A little bit of Odd Shopper quickly, since they are the sponsor of the show. I mentioned I did like the under on the McClanahan strikeouts, but that game I think just started, or it's going to start in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So you can get that one. I think the
making love
Jose
for 2.
Berrios, the under
making love for 2 minutes
is reasonable. No free content today on Osmo except the amazing Spotlight Hitters and Top Stacks article available on the front page. And then Odd Shopper. Odd Shopper is free every day. All you got to do is just join via an email. That's it. The rest of it's free. Just got to sign up with an email, and then you can log in and see all of the player prop projections that come from the DFS models. And we tell you the expected ROI, the expected win rate. You can sort it by a variety of ways. This is helpful not only if you're not able to do sports wagering, but for Prize Picks and No House Advantage and some of the other sites, Underdog, that have these prop type contests that they turned into fantasy contests. Definitely the way to go. Looking here at Odd Shopper, it does all the heavy lifting for you. It's a lot of fun. Tons of videos that we put out on the Odd Shopper channel every day. Eric does one Monday through Friday. Greg does one Monday through Friday. Aton does one Monday through Friday. And then we have a couple more that come out on the weekends. Definitely good stuff to watch. Again, not everything is on the Stokastic YouTube channel. A lot of it's on the Odd Shopper channel.
Hit the like button. If you'd enjoy Eric and Eric in the morning, hit the like button. That'd be great.
Team Eric.
That's what we got to do. Team American. E&E in the morning.
Here's a good one. How about I tell you how you can get
Jose Altuve? Really? Right off the bat? Really? God damn it. Are you serious? God, I hate that little dude. Just get out of here. Oh, I'm sure going around the bases, it's very quiet in Yankee Stadium right now.
Did I end up with any? Nope. When I screwed up my upload, I don't have any.
It's never fun when the first home run of the day you have 0% of in 150 lineups.
I have. Are you ready? This will 41% George Springer, 37% Bo Bichette, 35% Vladimir Guerrero, 22% Alejandro Kirk, Teoscar Hernandez.
Who cares?
21%.
Just play them all. Yeah.
Lourdes Gurriel.
How much Espinal did you get at like 4,800 in the 6 hole? Because that was the one guy that it was like I had to force him to show up in lineups.
I don't think I have any. What position is he playing today?
He's going to be. Nobody's going to have him. So because he was just so overpriced, it's ridiculous. So I just jammed him to get more of him.
Oh, I have one lineup. One of my.
So he's totally going to be the guy who hits 2 home runs today. So you're welcome.
Doesn't look like I have any Chapman. Oh no, I've got 7% Chapman. There he is. Yikes.
Jake Swales, you are not the only one. I am so on board with that. So let's talk single entry. Team Zippy. I love you, Obi-Wan. Single entry. Again, if you're trying to get away from these 2 chalky pitchers, Yu Darvish, Tyler Mahle, who is the next guy that you would be putting in place of one of those 2 in a single entry today?
Oh, sorry, which 2 players?
So Darvish and Mahle, if you're not going to just play the 2 chalk pitchers. So I've kind of made it clear. I like Yu Darvish more than I like Tyler Mahle, just straight up. And if I'm not going to play Tyler Mahle, who would be the next guy you would want to play in like a single entry for the afternoon slate? My answer is horrendous.
Kyle Gibson or
No.
Bo Brisky.
I think I would want to play Jose. No, I don't. I'm going to go Desclafani. I'm going to go.
Have you looked
Desclafani against Cincinnati? Look at Cincinnati. Look at this.
Revenge.
Oh my God. It's a dish best served in San Francisco, a great pitcher's park.
San Francisco treat.
Look at this lineup. Schrock is leading up. Who is a Schrock? Drury, Pham, Votto, Solano, Reynolds, O'Mora Jr., Senzel, Garcia. That is the thing nightmares are made of if you're a Cincinnati fan. So yeah, I am going to play him. Oh, there. It just automated into my sheet. That was nice. But yeah, Max Schrock, welcome. I don't really, I'm not going to play any of him. That's cool.
81% Shane McClanahan for me today.
I love it.
I did not get
77% was the final number for me on McClanahan.
Yeah, I did not get Kapralian, but I do have 55%.
Has he struck out 10 yet? Has he struck out 10 yet?
He better.
He has 0 strikeouts through 2 outs. But we have to start tilting.
Bill, bail. It's time to bail. Brady Singer, 18%
to Chavez.
18%. Guys.
Oh, see, Nick, I like what you did there. Team Erica. I like that.
Oh, yes, that actually is true. That's going to be part of our slogan.
46% owned in the main FD tournament. Well, you don't have to worry about 54% of the field then. That's cool. Because on FanDuel, I think I would just sham McClanahan. As I was going through it, I was like, yeah, I'd have Cease too. You can't completely fade Cease, but my God, I would just take him against the field. Please don't do this. I mean, what's happening? Nestor Cortez, please don't. Please. He got the strikeout on Brantley. That's a nice one to rack up.
All right. Well, let me tell you how to get some sort of free Awesemo content via Stokastic. If you refer Stokastic subscriptions to any of your friends, you will get 20% of their first 2 payments. So if they sign up for the 1-month plan, you get 20% of their first 2 payments. If they sign up for the weekly plan, you get 20% of their first 2 payments. Turn that into your own Stokastic subscription. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Making money to help you make money. This is like the perpetual motion machine. I'm liking where this is going. This is a good plan. This feels like a Jordan Klein plan.
Durant just got thrown out stealing. That was not fun. He's in my, so I played Durant. He was my one-off for in my single entry today. That was frustrating.
Did you know at 4:00 today, we have in NASCAR live before lock for Tennessee? They're racing in I believe it's Nashville. I don't think they've raced NASCAR there before, or at least not in a long time. That's going to be kind of fun. So you get Jason Floyd and Chris Pennell talking a little NASCAR action. You've got some videos on demand You've got some NHL Finals Game 6 content available on the Stokastic YouTube channel. You've also on the Osmo Odd Shopper or on the Odd Shopper channel, you've got a couple bet videos on demand there. You've got Pat Mahomes' best ball profile is dropping later from Matt Savoca. You've got Laffy and Matt Savoca now doing a full-on fantasy season-long best ball draft podcast every Friday. We got a lot of content here, Eric. We got a lot of content.
It's good stuff.
It's very good stuff. All right. I think
Let's
we're going to
talk
get
some
out of
stacks,
here.
should we, for the afternoon?
Should we what?
Talk stacks for the afternoon for the
Oh, absolutely. So I want to go with San Francisco. And even though Tyler Mahle has been better against lefties, worse against righties, we know that San Francisco tends to overhaul their lineup depending on the handedness of pitchers. So we do have Mike Yastrzemski batting second. Jock Peterson is fourth. Brandon Belt, I believe he got the day off yesterday against Mike Minor. He is batting sixth. Surprisingly, no Tommy La Stella in there. They do have Austin Slater leading off. But Jock Peterson even got a lefty home run yesterday. That was a lot of fun. The righties just dominated yesterday for San Francisco. But because they do this lineup flip-flop, depending on if it's a righty or lefty on the mound, their salaries are generally artificially suppressed because their batting order bounces around all the time. So you can get some discounts here on us or on DraftKings. 3,800 for Yastrzemski, just 4,300 for Peterson. I like that. 4,400 for Belt. Those would be the guys I would look to. You seem to be pretty strong on Tyler Mahle.
Oh, hot damn, this is my jam. Keep me partying till the AM. Y'all don't understand. Watch me throw my hands in the Slater.
I don't know this one.
Oh, come on. I'm going to get you to understand a Gen Z like reference one of these days. Or like, I mean, that's like still modern rap, but we'll teach you soon enough, Emac. I like Austin Slater. I like the San Francisco shout out. I don't completely hate that. If you have one stack to rule them all, one stack to find them, I'm definitely going to be stacking up the Seattle Mariners going up against Jose Suarez. That is just these righties are just really, really good. And I mean, Julio Rodriguez is starting to just show why he was the best prospect in baseball. This guy's absolutely absurd. Have you looked at his last
leadoff home run last night?
Dude, he's just out of control. The over a 0.5 runs plus RBIs is still available on Prize Picks for God knows what reason, but it is the best play of the day. Just go smash that right now. Afternoon game in LA. Jordan Klein knows he was there last night. Warmer in the afternoons than the evenings. That is for damn sure. So yeah, Anaheim should be rocking. Julio Rodriguez, my favorite play. He's going to be super popular, just a 4-game slate, but like, why not? Give me all of that you got. Even Winker cleanup against Suarez, I really don't care. Winker is going to be a lot better going forward.
All right. Do you like any of the pitchers in the night game?
The night game.
The Sunday night baseball game.
I don't even know who's playing.
Tony Gonsolin versus Aragorn.
Oh, let's go. That's
Aragorn.
Fun.
You're the only one who would get this joke.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it's a Strider joke. It's
all right,
and that's that was his name. They call him.
And
Strider.
the next joke better get us over 200 likes for the 300 people that are still in here. So, who was the actor that played Aragorn?
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen, and then who played his girlfriend in that?
Liv Tyler.
Live strong, baby. Live strong.
And end the show. End it, please. We got to go.
With that, gamers, good luck.